Hi, welcome back to Fuel for Fathers. I'm Peter. So today's question, why does stress drain my energy more than hard work? Let's get into it. Stress keeps your body in fight or flight mode, which is biologically expensive to maintain. You can work a 12-hour physical shift and recover overnight, but chronic stress keeps your cortisol elevated for days or weeks, draining your energy reserves even when you're not doing anything. So here's the situation. You've had physically demanding days before, long shifts on site, lifting, moving, building. You're sore at the end of the day, but it's a clean kind of tired. You eat, you sleep, you wake up ready to go again. But then you have a week where the stress is high, deadlines, difficult clients, money worries, problems at home. You're not doing more physical work, but by the end of the week, you're absolutely wrecked. Not sore, just completely drained. Your energy's gone, your mood is flat, and you feel like you've been run over. Most blokes don't understand why stress is more exhausting than hard work. Physical work has a clear input-output. You use energy, you recover, you're done. But stress keeps your body in a constant state of alertness, burning through resources without the recovery window that physical work gets. Let me explain what's happening. When you're under stress, your body activates the sympathetic nervous system. This is your fight or flight response designed for short-term survival. Your body floods you with adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline increases your heart rate and sharpens your focus. Cortisol releases glucose into your bloodstream for immediate energy. This is supposed to happen for a few minutes. Then your body shifts back to rest and digest mode. You recover, you calm down, energy reserves get restored. But chronic stress doesn't let that happen. When you're dealing with ongoing pressure, whether it's work deadlines, financial worries, or too many responsibilities, your sympathetic nervous system stays activated. Your body is pumping out cortisol day after day, week after week, and cortisol is expensive. And cortisol forces your body to prioritize immediate survival over long-term maintenance. It suppresses your immune system, disrupts your digestion, and interferes with your sleep. All of these systems get compromised, and that's draining. There's also the glucose problem. Cortisol keeps releasing glucose into your bloodstream, but when you're stressed about a deadline, you're not burning it off with physical activity. It just sits in your blood, your insulin spikes, and over time, this creates blood sugar instability. Your energy crashes, you feel foggy, and you crave more sugar or caffeine. Vicious cycle. Then there's the mental load. Stress isn't just physical, it's cognitive. Your brain is constantly running worst-case scenarios, trying to solve problems, anticipating what could go wrong. This uses massive mental energy. Your prefrontal cortex works overtime, decision-making gets depleted, and you end up mentally exhausted on top of the physical drain. Hard work has a clear endpoint. You finish the job, you clock off, you go home. Your body knows the work is done and can start recovering. Stress doesn't have that endpoint. Even when you're not at work, your brain is still churning. You're thinking about tomorrow's problems, replaying difficult conversations, worrying about things you can't control. Your body never gets the signal that it's safe to fully relax. Stress also disrupts your sleep, and sleep is when your body does the majority of its energy restoration. If you're lying in bed with your mind racing, you're not getting the deep sleep and REM sleep you need. You wake up already depleted, face another stressful day, and the cycle continues. Hard work might make you physically tired, but it doesn't stop you from sleeping. Stress does. Another factor is inflammation. Chronic cortisol triggers low-grade inflammation, and inflammation is one of the biggest energy drains there is. Your immune system works overtime managing this response. You feel fatigued, achy, foggy, not because you worked hard, but because your body is fighting an internal battle that never ends. Here's the thing, you can't just rest your way out of chronic stress like you can after hard work. You need to actually reduce the stressors or change how your body responds to them. So what can you actually do about it? First, identify what's causing the chronic stress and address it if you can. Sometimes stress is unavoidable, but sometimes we're carrying stress that doesn't need to be there. Are you saying yes to too many things? Are you worrying about problems that aren't yours to solve? Look at what you can let go of or delegate. Second, build in genuine recovery windows throughout the day. With hard work, you get natural breaks. With stress, you have to create them intentionally. Even 5 or 10 minutes where you completely disengage makes a difference. Take a walk, do some deep breathing, sit in your car with your eyes closed. You're giving your sympathetic nervous system a chance to stand down. Third, do something physical to burn off the cortisol and glucose. Your body is preparing you for a physical response to a threat. When you don't use that energy, it creates problems. A hard workout, a long walk, even just some push-ups. Moving your body helps metabolize stress hormones and signals that the threat has been dealt with. Fourth, protect your sleep. Stress disrupts sleep, and poor sleep makes stress worse. Break that cycle, create a wind-down routine. No screens an hour before bed. Keep your room cool and dark. If your mind is racing, write down what you're worried about so it's out of your head. Even improving sleep by 30 minutes makes a noticeable difference in how you handle stress. And fifth, talk to someone. When you're carrying stress alone, your brain keeps looping on the same problems. Talking to a mate, your partner, or just saying the problem out loud helps your brain process it and move on. Getting it out of your head reduces the mental load, and that reduces the cortisol response. You know, the other thing to know is that some stress is actually helpful. Acute stress, the kind that comes and goes quickly, can sharpen focus and boost performance. It's the chronic, unrelenting stress that destroys your energy. If you can, break big stresses into smaller, time-limited chunks. Shrinking the timeline makes it feel more manageable and gives your body recovery windows in between. Bottom line, stress drains your energy more than hard work because it keeps your body in fight or flight mode, elevates cortisol, disrupts sleep, triggers inflammation, and never gives you a clear endpoint to recover. Hard work is a sprint with a finish line. Stress is a marathon with no end. You can't just push through it. You need to reduce stresses, create recovery windows, move your body, protect your sleep, and get the mental load out of your head. You're not weak for being drained by stress. Your body is doing exactly what it's designed to do when it thinks you're under constant threat. Thanks to Father Fuel for sponsoring us, giving fathers energy when it matters most.